What's up? Welcome back to another Frontend tutorial. My name is Ricard Torres and I'm a Senior Frontend Software Engineer at NetCentric. Today I want to show you how to create images dynamically using NodeJs, Canvas, and yeah, that's it. What would you want to do? Why would you want to create images using NodeJs? For instance, you could have your blog posts in your blog and you want to have these feature images for Twitter cards to be created dynamically. You don't want to manually, for each of your blog posts, to create something manually in Photoshop or whatever. Why don't you use Node.js to dynamically create this with text? That will be one use case, and that's what I'm going to show you today. What we're going to play with, it's going to be first the Node.js file system. Node.js file system. You can check the documentation here to find out all the functions, parameters, and how they work. It's pretty comprehensive. Then the second thing we're going to use is Canvas. There's this npm package called Canvas, which again allows you to use Canvas, the Canvas API from Node. Pretty straightforward, pretty cool. And that is it. Let's jump into the code. Okay, I have my VS Code. And then what we're going to use first is create my package.json, npm init -y to accept all the questions directly. Cool. Package.json is created. Now we're going to use npm install to install the Canvas package, and this is the only package we will need right now. When you think about Node.js and packages, you maybe like me, you used to think about Webpack and Gulp and all those crazy bundlers or compilers for SAS, all these crazy packages that you throw in thousands of things. And yeah, that's one part of it, right? But today I want to maybe create more curiosity from you to learn more about how to build your own Node.js scripts. Rather than just throwing a bunch of stuff in, why don't just play with the file system, play with directly Node scripts and do it on your own, because it's really fun. All right, so we installed the Canvas, and it's cool. What I like to do is always have my build script. You don't have to. I mean, you could also call directly node index.js. But I like to use the build so it never changes, and I type less. So yeah, npm run build. Yeah, file does not exist. Perfect. Let's create it. Index.js. Run it again. Cool. That's done. Okay, so how do we create the image? We need to first require the Canvas module, so const. And the Canvas has already a function called create canvas. What we're gonna need, canvas equals require canvas. Okay, then when you want to create a canvas, you have to specify a width and height. So let me just create two variables to use later. So canvas width, it's gonna be staying const canvas height, it's gonna be 900. Cool. We define a new canvas. So canvas, create canvas, and we pass it the width and the height. Perfect. Once you have that, you have to create what it's called the context. I have here the MDN documentation for you. Basically, we want to create this 2D context, which again provides a 2D rendering context for drawing on a surface of a canvas element used for drawing shapes, text, images. Yeah. Never mind. Go here, context, and then you say canvas get context 2D. Perfect. And this is what we're going to use to put things on top, right? The text and background colors and all those things. How it works is like you work on layers, and the first thing you start adding, then it goes on the lower layer, and then you add on top, right? So what we're going to do is let's say simply context, and then we're going to use fill style to say, okay, I want green color. And then we're gonna tell it, okay, just paint now a rectangle. GitHub Copilot knows about what I'm gonna do. So the fill rectangle says, okay, from x0 and y0, and then go across to all the width and all the height from the canvas. So it takes the whole space. Perfect. Now you would already have a rectangle on your image. That's perfect. And then you would want to simply get this and paint it onto a file, create a file. How you do that, we need to const again the file system. It's fs, and then require fs. Cool. So that's the access to the file system from Node.js out of the box. So how you would do is we have a write file method. If you go back to the documentation very quickly, and then write file, you could see how it works. So simply we pass the data, options, and then returns a promise. That's it. So how we would do this, we would go here, we would go fs, write file. Then we want to pass the name of the file. So let me do that. I'm gonna create a folder for images, so better organized. So images, we're gonna say okay to the images folder, and then demo.png. Next, what we're gonna do is there's a function. Here you can see it, canvas to buffer, which will output the canvas to the file. In this case, I want to say image PNG, perfect. And then we can have a callback, error, arrow function, because they're super cool, console log. And then, sorry about that, here we say error, and if not, just tell me, oh my god, today I cannot type, file saved. Cool, let's try it, npm run build. Here. First time always takes a little bit more. Okay, file saved. Open that. And so far, so good. We have the booking box. Let me move it right here. Cool. So right now, you already have created an image using Canvas with Node.js. We're done. Not really. How you would add text? It's very easy, straightforward. There's, again, the context fill style. You would say a new color. Style, not right, style. Black. Then context, you would use font to define the font size and then the actual font. So in my case, I don't know, 80 pixels, Menlo font, why not? And then you could add more stuff like text align center. And then you would need to actually fill this text into a position, right? So yeah, context, fill text, we say hello world. What is it saying here? Canvas at the middle of the height. Let me delete this. And the middle of the height. Why not? What works for me? Let me put this a little bit more bigger for you to see. Awesome. So again, we said, okay, I'm gonna write this text here, and the position it's gonna be. If you over here, you will see, okay, X and Y. So X is gonna be half of the screen horizontally and half of the screen vertically. Let's save that. Rerun again. We got it. Now the PNG image has a background and a text, and you will be done. That's how you would play with Canvas and file system. But let's go a little bit further, right? Let's make cooler things. What I would like to do is first not to have this hard-coded here. What I would like to do is to use sort of a database to create all the images I want, not by playing with the JavaScript, but actually with just a text file. How you would do that? I'm gonna create a file called database.txt. You can name it whatever. And then we're gonna create some sort of structure. In my case, I'm gonna say, okay, the ID, a separator, so I can then split the string, and then say, okay, hello world is gonna be one image. I have another one, it's gonna be another post, and yet another one, yet another one. Cool. We have this thing, and now we're going to use the Node.js file system to read this file and then loop through each of the lines. How we would do that, let's go here. Then we have file system, and you have read file. Again, if we go back to this, read file, you have options and how to do it basically. Let me show you directly. So you would specify the file, so it's going to be the database.txt, and then you specify a callback. So in this case, we have error and we have data. Arrow functions, because they're awesome. Arrow function. So first, if error, of course, please console log the error. All right, just in case. Then what we're going to do is create or like get the lines, right? How would you do that? So let's define lines, and then we say data. We want to have this to a string, so to string, and then we're going to split it by lines. All right, Let's do it like that. Perfect. And then you would have each of the lines here, and then you have to loop. Choose your method of looping. In my case, I'm going to use for each. Why not? Lines.forEach. We're going to say here line, and then again arrow function. Should be using them if you don't already. And then let me move everything we've done so far inside the for each. Okay, I'm here. Then okay, now we have the line, which is going to be this string. So we need to split this thing to get the ID and then get the title. How you would do that? You can define it this way. You can say ID title and then use line split and then the separator, which is this thing. Okay, so we have the ID and the title now defined. So simply let me go back here to the name. Let me use template strings and replace demo for ID. Cool. And now the text, of course. Title. Let's try it again. See what happens. All right, so 3 files saved. 1, 2, 3. Awesome. So now we already are pulling data from our quote-unquote database. So you don't have to play with JavaScript when you want to update and create more files. You simply go to the database, add more lines, and you're done. Rerun the script. That is perfect. What else can you do to enhance this? This looks a little bit ugly. You could actually load images into the canvas and then make it look a little bit prettier. So I have an image. Let me copy it over. I have somewhere here this background image, which we're going to use as a background for the canvas. So then we can write the text on top. How you would do that? There is a nice function called load images from canvas. So let's go up there. Let me make this a little bit narrow here. Okay. So here, load image. Cool. You can hover that and it will tell you, okay, yeah, how it works. Works with promises. Perfect. So what we're gonna do is rather than paint everything here, we're gonna load the image. So simply load image. Then we pass it the actual image. So in this case, it's called background JPEG. JPEG PNG. And then use just a promise. Then sure, image arrow function. I love arrow functions. Okay, so now we're going to load this image and we're going to do something with it. In this case, so again, work with the context, and then yeah, it already knows. So draw image, get the actual image to the canvas. Positions will be 0, starting from X and Y, and then goes across the full width and the full height. I already have created my background image to have the same size as the canvas, so it's going to work just fine. And then what we're going to do is move this code here inside the then promise. Okay, so we're going to draw the image, we're going to write something on top of it, and then we're going to write the canvas to disk. Save, rerun again, file saved. Okay, how does it look? It looks awesome. That's it. That's what I wanted to show you. With very few lines, you can create your own scripts, and this looks amazing. You could enhance it with more stuff and better design than me. I'm not a designer, so that's the best I could do. I hope you liked it. Feel free to subscribe, leave a comment, and see you next time. Thanks.